served. So, anyways, this uh, we don't belong. So, as the title says, someone has your future, got your future, and everything of that nature. Now, I know a lot of you, a lot of people don't view my page because I am long-winded. But most every video that I put up serves as some type of warning to the masses. No, I didn't say the road to Damascus. I said to the masses. Travel. I need to shade. Look at shit. Jingle bell. But I don't care. You know what I'm talking about? Can I ask you what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. So you don't know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Anywho, so, and this just happened to me. Most anything that I tell you good people, whoever watches, I've lived through it. Either I've done it or I've lived through it. You know, I won't hardly ever get buy, download, whatever, a R&B song, jazz, country, gospel, rap, reggae, whatever. I won't hardly ever download any type of music unless I can identify with the lyrics. If I can't identify with that, I'm not going to listen to it. I don't care if it's got a beat from here to Yander's Cross. I'm not going to listen to it. Period. You know what I'm talking about? That's not going to be me. So, anywho, what I'm about to tell y'all, or tell you, if you find yourself doing this, or, well, if you find yourself doing it, I wish you would stop. Real talk. And whatever I tell you, I can actually back it up with scripture. Period. Remember, the Bible says that there's nothing new under the sun. Did you hear that, Cameron? Mm-hmm. There is nothing new under the sun. Okay? All right. Got me a new Apple, had to lighten up my background. It's kind of dark in here, believe it or not. I got those, what are those called? I know they the energy. Yeah, the energy, whatever. Makes it kind of darker, so I got an app on. So if you see it say face not recognized, that's because the app is on here. You know what I'm talking about? So anyways. So this just happened to me. Okay. About a few years ago, the Lord allowed me to speak something over someone's life. And it actually took place. And I have several witnesses to what I'm saying is true. And we're not talking about Carol, even though she was there, but you expect that she gonna take up for you anyways. I got more witnesses too. Her mom, the young lady that's around us, and 2 other people. I got more witnesses. So anyways, the Lord allowed me to speak something over someone's life that wasn't good. I didn't speak it to that person. I just spoke it out into the atmosphere, if you will. And shortly after I spoke this, it actually happened. Bull mess you not. I said that this person will lose a job. And I'm trying not to say the person's name because I don't call names on here. That's why when the hospital, when we had all that bug mess that went down at the hospital, they knew they were lying because unless you got to really piss me off for me to call your name out. Because once I call your name, I don't care. So I try to keep people identities a secret. And if I'm talking about a person and talking about their job, I don't want you to know where they work, their name, whatever. No free publicity coming from me. Period. Anywho, I said that this person was going to lose their job, and it was going to be. It was a man. I'll put it like that. It was a man. I said that this man will lose his job, and it will be a woman to bring him down. I said that. Word of God. Because of the way that this individual was living. Okay? The way that this individual was living wasn't right. Now, I'm not, the poster child for living the perfect life. That's not me. But certain lines I don't cross. Certain things I don't do. Period. Because I know that I have to go and see my Father, which is in heaven. Okay? I have to go see him. So for me to do certain things that's against him, I got to pay for that. Yeah. So anyways, and anywho, type of dog thing, you finna get on my nerve. All of a sudden you want to do that 24/7. Amazing. That's why I'm gonna get me a damn GoPro. Damn these damn tablets and these phones and shit. Get me a damn GoPro I can record all day long. I ain't gotta worry about duty. Anyways. So when the thing happened to the dude, I felt bad. I felt bad about what had happened to him, and knowing that I didn't say it to his face, but inwardly to my family, to my wife, to other people that were standing there, and even people that wasn't standing there, as far as my family goes. I said to them, my wife was in Bible study one night, and this individual was doing something in the street. Was doing something. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. I got behind him. I got behind a guy at a stoplight because his vehicle had stopped. And this one had my black car. I got behind a guy at the stoplight when his vehicle stopped. Now, this wasn't the individual I'm talking about. It was a white guy. His vehicle had stopped. He had one of those antique vehicles. I guess he came back from a show or something. I don't know. Maybe that's why it's antique. Put that shit in the graveyard. Anywho, that's neither here nor there. He was in the middle of the road. So my car was outfitted with strobe lights. Again, I had my strobe lights in there because, and ironically, we still got hit by a fucking traffic truck. Maybe that's something. But we was, my baby girl was about to be murdered by a traffic truck. So I said, I'm going to put lights in the car. That way people can see and those bright ass lights. Sure, I got some flack about that from people talking under their breath. No one never said nothing to my face. Talk about you want to lean a Foley with white lights, bitch. Really? White lights? Okay, man. That's what you want to say. Period. I ain't never seen, maybe in bigger cities or whatever. Nah, I'm gonna get off on that. Fuck that. Anyways, I know why I put them on there. So anyways, this individual came up to assist me. And this individual told me that he lost his job, and so on and so forth. I was like, wow. I was like, man, I'm sorry, man. I really am sorry. And which I was. Because it wasn't immediately after I said what I said. It was like maybe I would say probably close to a month later that it happened. So when I heard that, I immediately got sad, not upset, but it hurt me. Period. I went to go pick up my wife. Like I said, she was at Bible study. She teach Bible study, but she was at Bible study. Okay, so right after Bible study, I told my wife what happened. I said, "Do you remember when I said such and such?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "It happened." She was like, "I said, yeah, it happened. The same way that I said it would. It happened." So I've never been the type to rub people's noses in anything. If they get down on their luck or whatever, even if it's your own fault, I'm not gonna. I have to really detest you. And there are certain people that I really detest. I don't care nothing about. But this individual, I did. I cared a whole great deal. So as the week rolled into another week, this person started losing some things. And I was right there to pick him up. I have documented proof of this. Matter of fact, one of my cooking videos was actually going to this individual. I had cooked something. Matter of fact, if you actually look at, I put it like this. If you go through my pictures on Facebook, you'll see some rice with some pulled pork and some bell peppers and stuff like that. I did my little chef thing. Okay, I'm not telling y'all go through my pictures. I'm just trying to prove a point. It was that time that, you know, the same plate was the plate that I took to this individual. The plate I took a picture of is on my Facebook. Yeah. And this person, he started losing everything, and so on and so forth. Even though I know it was his own damn fault, I never, ever rubbed his nose in any of it. Period. Never. Never done that. So, we started hanging out more. We started talking more. We would talk about the Bible. We would talk about God. I found out that this person started going back to church, started going to church and back to church, I can't remember what it was, and so on and so forth. All right. And I'm thinking that we're cool. The Lord allowed me to have a dream about this person and how this individual, this individual was going to be put back on his platform, or where he fell for, where he allowed himself to fall from. And I was so happy. My wife will tell you, sitting right here. I went to this individual and told him. I went to this individual. I told him my dream and what the Lord had showed me through this dream, so on and so forth. He was all smiling. I was like, "It's true, I promise you." Well, I also told him, as I've told another individual, if you forget or intentionally say you forgot who was there for you when you were doing bad, don't expect to receive or to maintain your status when God puts you back. Don't expect that, because it's not going to happen. I told that to a individual, and Everybody turned his back. Everybody turned their back on the first individual that I told this to. Everybody. And I know this for a fact because he kept calling my phone. Period. How they said, I got my receipts. Okay. They haven't done anything to me for me to call their name, but both of these individuals know I don't give a fuck. You know, if you, I'll call your name in front of your damn face. Period. It is what it is with me. But they haven't did anything to me. This is just a warning to the masses, if you will. Okay? That's all this is. Like I said, the first individual I told this to, and I told him, as God is my, no, I am not a prophet, but I honest to God believe, and I have been told, you are anointed to speak the truth. My mom that went home to glory, my spiritual mother went home to glory, that was one of the last things she told me. She said, don't ever be afraid of the truth. You speak the truth. Right. Because whatever you say, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Yep. That's what Mama told me. She ain't lied yet. There's another thing that happened to a female. That happened. It's going to be in the old book that her and I, we just now get started on writing everything. Okay. You call yourself saved. Be on the lookout for that. Anywho, so I told the first individual that he didn't listen. Not at all. He was put back on his little pedestal. Next thing you know, I don't want to talk to Maurice. I don't want to see Maurice. I don't want to do anything. Period. I'm back to who I am now. You're a damn fool. Because as soon as that individual did that, he was taken off of his pedestal and put on as permanent horse shit. And that's no lie, I swear to God. That's no lie. Like I said, I got my receipts. And if I call the individual's name, most everybody right here in Waycross know who I'm talking about. Period. So, I told my wife, I said, see, I said it. The Lord allowed me to say it. There it is. Period. Just like I said, how, if you go back to my videos, we got newspaper clippings, and which is time-stamped, and my video. Before it even happened, I said that a tornado would hit here. And it did. It was a small one, which I believe was a warning to prepare people. If you go back to my video, you will see that I said this before it actually hit, because I'm quite sure you can go on Google and find that a small tornado, they had it in the papers, hit Kettle Creek. It wasn't a big one. It was a small one. Period. And I forgot I even said that. Just get your newspaper clipping and go back to my video. You will see these are two different times. Two different times. But the Lord laid that on my heart. And the Lord keeps pressing upon my heart. A big one is coming here. Because God getting tired of the evilness here in Waycross. That's right. He getting tired of the mess that's being covered up. He getting tired of people being put into position of power that is no good. Chomos. In other words, child molesters. He getting tired of all that. Period. Mark my words. This is February the 23rd, 2022. At approximately, might as well say 3 o'clock in the morning. Almost. If not 3 o'clock. What time is it? Okay, 3 o'clock in the morning. I clock up that slow. 3 o'clock in the morning. Period. He getting tired. And he said this. He said, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of things being covered up. I'm sick of people lying. I'm sick of crimes being committed. And nobody is doing anything about it. You can't get you like God can get you. Okay. I wouldn't be too much worried about what man can do. What can God do? Period. Okay? So, the second individual, I told the same thing that I told the first individual. Don't forget who was there. Don't forget who loved you. Don't forget who picked you up when you was falling down. Don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. Well, about a week or so ago now, I guess he forgot. I guess he forgot. Because this individual got something in his life, got some baptiz in his life, and didn't even have the decency of coming to me and introducing anybody. Did not have the decency of coming to me and saying, this is such and such, this is mom's, this is this and that, and the third, this is that, blah, 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 blah. Period. This is dad, this is mom's, nothing. Said nothing. Said nothing. Passed by me almost on a daily basis. We see each other almost on a daily basis. Pass by each other. Almost on a daily basis. And not one time has this dude introduced me to moms, dads, sisters, brother, girlfriend, whatever. His dogs, his cats, maybe the fleas running around in his house, the roaches that doing push-ups in the backyard, and things like that. Ain't introduced me to nobody. In my mind, that's very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Period. Very disrespectful. And that, like I said, it's been weighing on me for a long time. A long time. A few days now, let's put it like that. A few days now. It's been bothering me because it hurts. It hurts because I don't bother people. That's number one. I don't bother nobody. I don't treat people like shit. I'm straight up and I try to be honest. Period. I try my best to be honest. That's why I don't sugarcoat shit. Period. I remember when the new chief came into office, because I thought that the chief, I'm talking about Chief Cox, was a racist piece of shit. Did I not tell him that to his face? Yep. I said, I thought you was a racist piece of shit. He looked at me. I said, yeah, I thought you was a racist piece of shit. I said, but I have to apologize. We sat in his office and talked with him. Me and my wife, Chief Cox. Sat in his office, we talked with him. The reason why I went to his office because I wanted to apologize to him in person. Period. Not no telephone call, not no text message, not none of that. I'm all man. Just like how I went up there and I apologized when Mayor Billups and I had got into, I still got DVD on that. When Mayor Billups and I had got into it, and I was wrong. Period. Even though the situation was effed up, I was still wrong because I let that situation take me out of focus. Now, there's a lot of people that I cuss out. I will never tell you I'm sorry. Period. Like that punk up there at the damn hospital, Mr. Flashlight Cop. I ain't never gonna tell you I'm sorry. Period. I mean every damn word I said. Now, that's neither here nor there. So yeah, I'm very straight up. Well, I try to be very straight up. Even Chief Cox told us, said, there's no gray area with you. I said, no, not at all. It's either right, left, that's it. There ain't no in between. Either I like you or I don't. It is what it is. I choose my friends. I don't let my friends choose me. Period. I never will let a friend choose me. I choose who I want to hang out with. And so that was my whole purpose of going up there to talk to the chief. Even some of these knucklehead ass police officers running around here, they was jealous about that. which is kind of fucking stupid. Period. But hey, your ass ain't never been nothing. You know, you think everybody want to take your place, which gets me back to that individual. If you that insecure about your family, maybe you shouldn't have any. Sometimes, and I'll get to my point, then I'm done. Sometimes we can talk or we can act our way out of a blessing from God. Like that sizzle in your spirit. Okay, I should have sizzled long enough. Sometimes we can talk and we can act our way out of a blessing. And that's the God-given truth. How do I know this? How do I know that certain people has certain people's futures in their hand? How do I know this? If you go back to the Bible, where this young woman was told by a prophet of the Most High God to bake him, you remember who this was? To bake him a cake. Elijah came to a certain one. Did the Bible give her name?
She was a widow with Zarephath.
Okay. She was a widow at who?
Zarephath.
The thing that make you sleep or not. Zarephath, I believe is what it said. Elijah came to her and told her to bake him a cake first. She said, no, I can't do that. I only have enough meal for my son and I. We will eat this, and then later on down the road, we shall die, for we have nothing else. Elijah told her, I have been sent by God to tell you the truth. Bake me a cake first. If you do this, I can promise you, you will reap a prophet's reward. Let me pause there for a minute. A lot of people don't understand this. And I'm not talking about these fake prophets. And there's a lot of them. Todd Hall, Bishop T.D. Fake, Joel Osteen, Kenneth Ain't Got No Hopeland, Paula Ike, Benny Friend, Jesse Duke, and he ain't got no plants with him. John Fake Ass Hagee. He said that John Hagee said that Jesus never offered himself to the Jews. That's a lie. Because that's why he left. He said, I came to my own, but my own received me not, so I'm going to the Gentiles. The reason why the Jews wanted to kill Jesus was because he said he was God. Not because he said he was a prophet, because he said he was God. Period. Duh. They said he was blaspheming. But he wasn't. He was truly God. And so on and so forth. You know, I'm not talking about those fake prophets. I'm talking about the real McCoy prophets. I know I have a real McCoy prophetess in my life. She has prophesied some things to me and other people who we can bring as witnesses. And it actually came true. We call them seers, prophets, whatever. Now, it's a funny thing about if you believe the mouth of a prophet, you shall receive a prophet's reward. You know what that's telling me? I actually thought about that one day. I like to analyze stuff, put things together that probably shouldn't be put together. And I told my wife, I said, you know, that's funny. In the Bible, it says that if you believe the mouth of a prophet, you shall receive a prophet's reward. That's funny. She said, why you say that? I said, because the reward that comes to an individual, whosoever or me, it's not my reward. She looked at me, I looked at her. She said, why you said? I said, because the Bible said that's a prophet's reward. You know what they're telling you? Whatever reward comes to you, you have to share it with the true prophet. Ain't about these fake ones. With the true prophet of the Most High God. That's what they're telling me, because that reward that you receive, let me tell you something. A genuine prophet's life is a lonely road to travel. A genuine prophet's life, a genuine prophetess, a genuine prophet's life is a long road to travel. Excuse me, a lonely road to travel. They don't have very many friends. They got a lot of enemies, but they don't, the true ones. They don't have very many friends. Some of them don't even have a pot or window. You know why? Because it's up to us who is receiving what the prophet has already spoken to our lives, and it actually came true. It's up to us to take care of them. If you don't believe that, read your Bible, because it's in there. The Bible actually tells you take care of his prophets. He tells you that. Just like he tells us to take care of the poor, that half the 90% of America don't do no more. Yeah. Yeah. And I'll tell you something else. Prophets is not going to always prophesy money to you.
Okay.
Period. Prophets is not going to always prophesy glit and glamour in your face. They're just not going to do that. Because that's not all that Jesus is about. Period. Prophets not going to always prophesy, oh, you're going to get $1 million, you're going to have a Fortune 5, 100 company, and go like that. To about 3 streamers who will scream, your debt just been him. And you fools go around, ah! Stupid ass. So, a prophet will not always prophesy money, glit, and glamour to your way. It ain't going to happen. But y'all still fool enough to believe it. Every prophet you see on TV, that's all they prophesy about? Come on, man. Come on, people. Where's the warnings? Where's you better get your act together? Better get your life in order. So, what about that? Oh, y'all don't want to hear that no more. No. That's why Jesus give you what your itching ass is want to hear. So, anyways. If you believe the mouth of a prophet, you shall receive a prophet's reward. It's up to you to turn around and bless that prophet. It's up to you to turn around and whatever that reward is, you have to share that with your prophet. Because that's really their reward. But that's sizzling your spirit. Period. Now, that's how I know that people can have your future in their hands. But it's up to you the way you treat them and the way you talk to them or talk about them that will cut that off. You ain't got to believe it. I don't give 2 bricks from a dinosaur booty. How do I know this? If that woman would, if that widow would have not believed Elijah and went on ahead and fixed dinner for herself and her son and said, bump that prophet, bump that anointed person, she surely would have died. Period. Sometimes it pays you best to not do people wrong. To not turn your back on folk who ain't never did nothing to you. Except trying to be there for you. Because when you need that person again, they gone. They gone. They ain't got nothing else for you. They don't have nothing else for you. Why? Because when you got on your feet and you got your little family back, and you got this back, and you got your job back, and you got this, and you got that, you turned your back on that person. This is why Jesus says, don't forget unless something else bad, worse, come to you. It's in the Bible. He said, don't forget. Don't forget what I've done for you. Don't forget what I brought you out of. Lest something worse come to you. Period. Don't forget it. Don't forget how I raised you up when you was down. Don't forget how I sent my son or my daughter or my sons or my daughters to help you out when nobody else would. Because when you turn your back on my children, you turning your back on me. Jesus said, if you fail to do for the least of these, then you fail to do for me. We don't know who God's children is. See, y'all got this whole thing messed up because I swear a lot in my videos. I ain't gonna stop. I already told you I'm real. It is what it is with me. I ain't gonna stop. I ain't stopped yet, and God haven't stopped blessing me yet either. That's why I'm so glad that God judges the heart and not the individual. Period. That's why I'm so glad. That's why I'm so glad, because if God was some of y'all, I couldn't deal with him. He judges the heart. Where is your heart? And I have a heart for people. I really do. I have a heart to help people. I have a heart to be there for people. That's why whenever I get angry, I can go from 0 to 100 in a matter of seconds. Because my heart is, I don't want you hurting me. Yeah. I don't like being lied to, and God knows I don't like being lied on. Period. I can go from 0 all the way to 100, then come back from 100 back down to 0 in a matter of 2.2 seconds. Because anybody can ask me for anything damn near, and I'll give it to you. I will give it to you. The people, the ones that truly know who I am, they can tell you that. I'm not talking about my wife. I'm talking about you guys, certain cops around here in Waycross. Whatever. Just to, for example, one police officer, I had bought a what's that? Yeah, that wasn't it?
A crucifix?
I don't call it that. I call it a cross. But she said crucifix. Anyway, I had bought that thing. Wasn't cheap. That thing was not cheap. Sterling silver. It was not cheap at all. And it glistered in the sun. A police officer liked it. Now I'll call his name because I love him to death. Officer Robert Bitton. He loves crosses. I think you guys know that he's a Catholic. He loved crosses. He saw it. And he's on my page, actually. He saw it. He said, I like that. I said, you do? He said, yeah. I said, now, you know, this thing wasn't cheap. He said, I know, but I still like it. I said, okie dokie then. I took that cross off mine and handed it to him. Yep. And he looked at me like, I said, you can have it. I'm not going to, I said, you can have it. If you like it that much, you can have it. Because material stuff, I like how material things, don't get it twisted. I love material possessions, but that's not what floats my boat. That's not what floats my boat. That's why the other day when I mentioned that there was a church that was offered to me by a female, she wanted me to co-pastor with her. That didn't float my boat. Yeah, it was a nice church. Yeah, you know, whatever. You can get money in there. Yeah, okay, whatever. That don't float my boat though. It don't. Period. Why? Because I've never had it like that. So it really, you know, I like money like the next person. I like buying different things. I like, you know, shopping. I'm a shopaholic. I ain't gonna lie to you. Especially when I get upset. My wife keep telling me that's your therapy right there. Piss me off, watch me in Walmart. Me and my wife, we done got into, I don't know how many arguments. Next thing you know, I'm like, man, come on here, man. I'm gonna go to Walmart. She's like, oh, Lord, you're finna spend some money, you know? And as I say, she's sitting right here. I said, why do I do? She said, that's your therapy. That's your coping, what you call that?
Your coping mechanism.
Yeah, that shit. Your coping mechanisms.
That's what calms you down.
And it does. And then I feel guilty about it later knowing I just bought some shit that I don't even need. Go figure that, right? But, you know, material stuff does not float my boat. Not at all. Period. That's why I was blessed with a brand new Ford Taurus. Bought and paid for. It was a $50,000 car. Bought and, or was it 50 or 60? $50,000 car. Bought and paid for. Not by me. By the Lord. I didn't have that money like that. And still don't have no money like that. And it got wrecked. Transport truck tried to do us in. Nothing to Satan. And then the Lord put me in a used truck. Nice truck. Nice on the outside. Nice on the inside. Nothing wrong with the truck. Nothing wrong with it. Bought it right off the lot. Here, matter of fact, I had to wait on it because the police officer in Blackshill had it. Something happened to his unit or something happened to his vehicle. I can't remember what it was. He sent it in. He had it. Period. Cop had it. Now, I was waiting on that to come on back in, brother. Period. And I guess Satan was probably thinking, oh, he ain't gonna like that. Dude, we had a neon. My very first car of my own was a beat up neon. It was white. With rust all over it. Rust. I mean rust. You could pull up the carpet on the floor, on the floorboard and see the road as you were driving. And every time it rained, that car would stop. And that's no lie. If you went through a small waterfall, it would stop. We had to sit right there until it decided it wanted to crank. That's my wife. Yeah, we done been through some stuff. And I didn't know anything about cars really back then. Well, when I got down, because I didn't know that blue smoke meant, excuse me, y'all, but blue smoke meant your car fucked. It's ragged. It's no good. It's on its last Walker Texas Ranger episode. I didn't know that. Now I do. One of my friends, well, he was a mechanic, but he became one of my best friends, and we talked about that. This was years after. We talked about that. He said, you know what blue smoke means? I said, no, I didn't know. I don't know what blue smoke means. He said, that means your shit fucked up. He said it has something to do with the motor, the oil, things of that nature. I said, that's why y'all a mechanic and I'm not. So yeah, so it didn't bother me to go from a brand new car to a used truck. Period. I've always wanted a truck. Now the truck I was looking at, my wife said, no, why would you pay $60,000 for a used Raptor? But I love Raptors. You know men, you know us in those trucks, in our trucks. She said, no, that's stupid. She said, you can buy a brand new one with that one if you're going to pay that much money. I said, I wasn't going to buy it outright. Payments. Yeah. She said, you know how much your payment's going to be? So I said, okay. We talked about it. We did the math. Come to find out, you could afford it, but you'd have had to let some things go. And certain things I wasn't going to let go. Do you believe that? So, why'd you got off of that? I don't know. I guess I'm just rambling. So, it did not, what's up, man? I can never remember his name. I mean, I can't pronounce his name. I'm just going to call him that car, Kia. Killers in America, you can believe that. So, all I'm saying is this. Because I just started rambling about crazy shit. Anyways, all I'm saying is this, man. Be careful how you treat people, because you never know who has your future in their hand. You never know. And that one act, that one mouth, that one mistreat, God will say, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. That's why I try my best not to mistreat people. Period. Like how I'm mistreating my face because I don't shave, so I shouldn't do that. But I'm doing my best, and I try my best not to mistreat people. I love people. Period. Feed you, house you, clothe you. God knows I do it. You know, I try my, not because I think you got something for me. No. Because that's just who the hell I am. And when this individual did that shit to me, it hurt me. It really, that, and even now it's bothering me. Because I'm like, why would you even do that crap? Why would you even be that way? When you was in outer darkness, I was right there, by your side. When you didn't know which way to go, I was right there. I never judged you. Never, and I knew it was your damn fault. But I never judged you, never pointed my finger in your face, never did none of that. Cried with you. Isn't that funny? Sat with you. Was a friend to you. Stuck closer than a brother to you. Period. My wife and I, we were talking about that. She was in there washing dishes. We were talking about that. I said, Carolyn, do you think he was wrong? She said, yeah, he was wrong. She said, because he shouldn't have did that. She said, yeah, he was wrong. He was dead wrong. Period. And I know you're wrong. I just had to get a second opinion. And take care. Take care, because you just might go back down to nothing. I'm not wishing nothing on you. I'm just saying you just might go back. But Munja won't be there. Munja won't be there. First of all, I'm getting too damn old to keep wrestling with grown-ass people who should know, people that's older than me. I just turned 40. People that's older than me. I don't have time to keep wrestling with you. I don't have time to keep asking you why. Why? Why? Period. I know a lot of y'all don't believe this, but my life has been one fucked up show. Real talk. From the cradle and probably to the grave. One fucked up show. Being mistreated here, there, here, there, here, there, here, there. Yeah. But I can dig it. I cry about it sometimes. My wife, she'll catch me sometimes, you know, crying about it. It hurts. I'm a man, ain't it? It hurts. But that's why I thank God for my joy, which is my son. Because when I get angry or when I get upset, I look at that little boy. That's all she wrote. He'll look at me with that look like, nigga, what the hell wrong with you? You know, like he did yesterday. He looked at me with that look like, what the hell wrong with you? You know. And he do, oh my God, he do this crazy shit. I told him that he like a blind possum. Is he a... What wrong with you? But that's my joy. God put him here for a reason. And I believe more than likely is to keep me out of a lot of bullshit that otherwise I probably would have been into. Keep my sanity about me. So last but not least, man, you know, don't do the people wrong who has been there for you. Don't forget. Because God has a special, unique way of sending you right back to nothing. And taking the person that he put in your life the very first time, taking them away from you. And now you stuck by yourself. My name is Maurice Mungeon. This has been One Man's Truth and His Own Opinions. Good night.